Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. If you've spent any time in the transformational space at all, you have heard that Marianne Williamson quote. And the reason why it shows up in all sorts of places, even outside of transformation, is because there's such an amazing, powerful truth inside of that. That there is a part of us that is afraid and has also been enculturated to not believe that we are great or to not claim that particular greatness. Today in the podcast, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about why we oftentimes hide our giftedness and hide our greatness, and how we can do 3 simple rounds of tapping to put ourselves in a position where it's easier for us to be comfortable inside of our own skin and embrace who we truly are. This is Gene Monterastelli, and welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 661, originally aired May 14th, 2025. Hi, everyone. I hope this finds you well wherever you are and whatever time of day you're getting a chance to listen to this. Thanks for spending a little time with me today. So just for a moment, what I want you to do is I want you to think about something that you know you are really good at. And I want you to choose something that you might not be known for being good at that particular thing. So it's something that maybe some people in your life are aware of, but it's not your defining characteristic. Take a moment, figure out what that thing is. And now what I want you to do, take a nice big deep breath. And I want you to say out loud, I really want you to say this out loud. Don't just go through the motion here. Be present with me. What I want you to do is I want you to think of that thing, and you're going to complete this sentence. And I want you to say, I am really good at, and put that thing in there. Again, do this out loud. I am really good at, and complete that sentence. Now, what do you notice as you say that? Now, interestingly enough, over the course of the last number of weeks, because I knew I'd be talking about this, I have been having friends, loved ones, clients, students do that little bitty exercise. And there have been a few circumstances where when people make that statement, you can actually see them change in a way that is positive. You see them sit up a little bit straighter. You see them smile a little brighter. You see their eyes get a little wider. But for most of the people that I had do this particular exercise, the exact opposite happened. Either while saying the phrase or after saying the phrase, they got smaller. And they got smaller in so many different ways. Their voice got smaller. Their voice got quieter. And I know that sounds like the exact same thing, but they're not. That there was this lack of energy, but there was also lack of volume. A number of them also physically got smaller. They looked down. They hunched their shoulders. They got smaller. And that's so sad to me, to think that we have been put into a position where we don't feel comfortable claiming what we are good at. We don't feel comfortable claiming who we are. And there's lots of reasons for this. Like, we have been enculturated, and in that culturation is actually rooted in something that might actually be useful. But we've been enculturated to believe that there is value in not making it about us, that there's value in being humble, that there is value in not showing other people up by being good and making them feel bad. And the reason why we are taught to be quiet and to be humble and all of those things is because the folks who were teaching us, the folks who were training us, not just in our skills, but in how to be human, didn't want us to be giant, arrogant jerks. Because we know there are giant, arrogant jerks in the world, and we, as we are training others, as we are raising others, don't want to pass that along. So oftentimes what happens is the pendulum swings in the exact opposite direction. The pendulum swings to, be seen and not heard, keep your head down, just do your job, act like you've been there before as you are being successful. And there's some value in that. But when the subconscious mind takes a story on like that, it turns it into an all or nothing proposition. It is no longer this interesting idea. It is the truth. I must be humble. I must not be seen. I must not be better than everyone else. And what that does is that just stifles us. Like, for me, there are moments where I am so in the pocket I am so embodied. I am so fully present to me at my best. And that doesn't mean that I'm better at other people in those things, but just like in my best and in my goodness. And boy, does that feel good. And not only does that feel good, I make more thoughtful choices. I make more humane choices. I make more caring choices. I make more creative choices when I'm working from that particular space. And so that's the reason why over the course of the last number of years, I've so dedicated my work to helping people to create authentic lives that they love. Because, and I say this all the time in the podcast and it's silly, but it's true that I know that when I help someone to make their life better and more authentic, then it makes their world better and more authentic, which makes the world better and more authentic, which makes my world better and more authentic. And so for me, having others feel comfortable claiming their goodness, claiming their greatness, claiming their value isn't something where they're taking up more space. It's just the opposite. It's something that elevates all of us when we're able to do that. And so for me, when I'm trying to get into that particular space, there's 3 things that I like to tap on, and we're going to tap on those things right now. And it's basically putting down the stories that are no longer useful, recognizing and that it is safe to recognize my giftedness, and recognizing that the world is a better place when I do that. So we're going to do those 3 things. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a nice big deep breath. And I just want you to tune into that sense of any part of you that is hesitant in claiming your goodness and claiming your greatness. Any part of you that is hesitant to recognize your value. Tap on the side of the hand, take a nice big deep breath. And just move from point to point, repeating after me. And if you can do this out loud, I'd really encourage you to tap along with me out loud. I recognize the fact that I have been given so many stories about how I am supposed to act and who I am supposed to be in the world. And I recognize many of these stories have been given to me because the people who are handing me these stories didn't want me to be an arrogant jerk. Didn't want me to have an elevated and inflated sense of myself. Wanted to make sure that I was a good, kind person. And I can appreciate the motivation and intention of these stories. But that is not what I've learned from these stories. Because my subconscious mind works in an all or nothing fashion. It believes that I must be small all the time. I must be humble every moment. I give myself permission to know these stories are actually harmful to me. And therefore, I'm allowed to put them down. And as I put them down, I am not putting down the people who gave me the stories. I'm not putting down the intention behind the stories. I am simply saying, they no longer serve me. And by putting these stories down, I am not saying I am the best. I am the greatest. I am the awesomest. Claiming who I am has nothing to do with what I think about anyone else. Seeing myself as good is not seeing others as bad. Seeing myself as valuable is not seeing others as unvaluable. It simply means I recognize who I am. And it is safe for me to let go of the stories that say I must be stifled. Nice big deep breath, big stretch. Shake it off. If anything came bubbling up inside of that, go ahead and jot that down. If you're looking for a clever way to take notes when we're doing tapping just like this, if you go to tappingtracker.com, I have a great little guide there for you that will help you to do exactly that, tappingtracker.com. Track all the good things that we cover in any tapping session. So, number one, we put down the stories that no longer serve us. Number two, what we're going to do is we are going to give ourselves permission to show that it is safe for us to acknowledge who we are. Move from point to point. I recognize the fact. There is a part of me that is afraid to recognize my giftedness, to recognize my value, to recognize my worth. And I give myself permission to know it is safe for me to acknowledge who I am. It is safe for me to recognize my giftedness. It is even safe for me to share my giftedness with others and to share my greatness with others. But this also means that I get to choose when I share. I get to choose how I share. I get to choose who I share with. And I can even change my mind. Recognizing that it is safe to share my giftedness does not mean I'm putting everything out into the world all of the time. I give myself permission to trust that it is safe and I am allowed to share who I am more. Nice big deep breath. Again, notice the phrases that came up in that you want to tap on again. Jot those down so you can go back and just say those phrases out loud over and over again. Do a round of tapping. Notice the tail enders that came up. Anything that said, no, yeah, but, I can't, no. Those are all things that we need to be tapping on as well. Finally, I just want to do a round of tapping on the benefits for all when we are who we are. Side of the hand, nice easy breath. And again, just move from point to point, tapping out loud. If it's safe, if it's comfortable where you are, repeat after me. I recognize the fact I have so much to offer in big and small ways. And I give myself permission to know that when I am honestly sharing myself, honestly sharing my giftedness, honestly sharing my heart, not only is my life richer, other lives are richer as well. Not only is my life better, the world is better as well. I give myself permission to trust that it is possible and it is safe for me to share my giftedness and for me to share my greatness with the world. Because when I am who I am, in a rich, deep way, my world is better, which means the world is better as well. And I give myself permission to embrace and trust that. Nice deep breath. Again, jot down any notes, grab any ideas that you want to make sure you don't lose. If you need a tool to do that, tappingtracker.com. It's absolutely free. There's a good 30-day version. There's a 90-day version. You can type right into it. You can print it out. You can write into it. It's just an easy way. It's the exact tool I use as I'm tracking my tapping every single day. So as we work our way through that, you can see I would be willing to bet that in this moment, either you feel better and there's still work to be done, or this actually feels more raw. Because what we've done is we've shined a light on this issue that is hanging out in there. That doesn't mean the tapping has failed. That just means, oh, this is an issue that's really there and it's worth your time and attention. Something super, super simple. Over the course of the next 3 or 4 days, just take 5 or 6 minutes before you start your day. Tap on one of these ideas. I don't have to carry these stories. It's safe for me to share my giftedness. The world is a better place when I share my giftedness. It's going to make it so much easier for you to make more thoughtful, more deliberate, more grounded, more authentic choices as you move through the day. Doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. Doesn't mean you're going to walk away going, I got today exactly right. But it's going to put you in a position that makes all of it significantly easier. If you know someone in your life who could use a little tap along like this, please pass it along. Be our ambassador. Our word of mouth, our marketing budget is your word of mouth. There, we got it right. It would really mean the world. The highest compliment you can pay to me and my work is to pass it on to someone else. The other thing is, one of the things that we do at the end of every single episode, we started recently, stole the idea from Secretly Incredibly Fascinating. Alex and Katie do this amazing podcast on really cool, interesting things in the world. Secretly Incredibly Fascinating. One of the things they do is they do a random number generator to pick an old episode. Before I hit record on this, I did exactly that. The random number generator gave me 358, which is one of my favorite episodes of the podcast ever. It is a conversation about whether or not when we're tapping, if we say negative things, can we actually tap negative things in, or can we attract negative things into our life? It is one of my favorite conversations ever. tappingqanda.com/358, and that will take you to that particular episode. As you look at the screen right now, you can see the archive of every single episode of the Tapping Q&A podcast. Click on that playlist and dive into the entire content. And I look forward to talking with you and tapping with you again next week. Bye-bye.